Welcome back to another edition of the Ace Talk Show, radio style, show number 12. Yeah, this show is going to be a by request. I had a player comment that they wanted to know a little bit about the history of my gameplay, or how I started, or where I started, what I liked doing back then, and stuff like that. Brandon Rocks 2008, give a shout out to you out there. Thanks for the suggestion for the video, and I'm pretty sure some other players might be interested as well. So, as most people always ask, how'd you start playing the game? Well, I started playing the game of Runescape back in, I'd say 2004, I think it was. The very first time I logged in. And I remember it clear as day, you know, being a newbie right off the bat. I was thinking, well, that's just it. I wasn't thinking at all. I didn't pay attention to nothing. I did like everybody else did. Go through the tutorial island and, you know, figure out how to operate the player or whatever, the controls. Of course, everybody knows it's a simple click of the mouse, and then the simple chat room uses for your chat box. It's much more advanced now, of course. Shortcut keys and arrows and everything else that you can do nowadays. Yeah, I just always remember coming onto the main land of Lumbridge there, and right off the bat I thought it was PvP. I just thought that players could kill players right off the bat. I don't know, that's what I thought in general. That's the way I started playing the game. That's the way I thought it was. Now, the reason I thought it was that way is because I was walking up to the castle, of course, right off the bat. You know, getting to the bank and figuring out the area or whatnot. And I accidentally clicked on one of the Runescapians that are the normal residents of Lumbridge there, and it started kicking my butt. And I was like, what the hell, man? Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to attack you. I didn't mean to click on you. I mean, come on. Quit attacking me. You know, I was running away, all typing out everything. You know, like, dude, I'm sorry, man. You know, I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. The hell with this. And I hit that big old X button in the corner of the screen. You know, close that window down, log right out. The hell with that. Alright, you know, that's a noobish thing right off the bat. Didn't understand what the game was about, know nothing. And then about a month later, I figured, let's look back at that again, see if it was, I don't know, let's try it again. So I got a little bit smarter that time, and I went through and I read through the knowledge base. Everybody knows about the knowledge base. It's at little search runescape.com. There's a little search box on the very top of your screen. You type in, you know, what general that you want to look for, general thing, whether it be range, combat, skill, GE, whatever, and hit the go button, and a new window pops up. Well, of course, back then it wasn't there. It was just on the home page. But I went through and I read through all that, understanding the combats, and that it was not a PvP area. The whole world wasn't. That only players could attack you out in the wilderness back then. Of course, now you have to go to the certain worlds due to other reasons. So I read through it, learned all the rules, figured out, alright, well, I know what I can do now, I know what's going on. And then, I don't know why, but right off the bat, of course, I log right in, and I get hit with a random event. Now, I just got done reading about all this stuff. It was probably the night before. When I logged in, there's some mages in their wizard robes and that, regular players just standing there. And I was walking back up to the castle, up the steps, and I got a random event. If you guys remember these random events, back then I had the old Swarm random event. Now, they basically, you couldn't really see it. It looked just like a little fuzz or whatever, or maybe it was just, who knows what we thought it was back then because of the graphics. The graphics definitely were not as good as they are now. The window's nowhere near as big as it is now. Those that PvP or go to bounty hunter worlds or whatnot, they usually use the traditional window that you used to play the game in, and even then it's larger than what it used to be. But I hardly seen anything, and I was getting attacked. I'm like, I didn't click on anything. I know I didn't click on one of the Runescapians. I was just trying to walk up the steps, and I get this random with the swarm freaking attacking me, and I still thought once again that it was another player cast a spell on me or something. Funny as hell, thinking back on it now, I was shouting out, please call him off, please call him off, don't use your magic on me, I'm new or whatever. And I'm running around the castle trying to get this spell off me, which it was just a random event. Like I said, I was tired when I was reading it the night before. But yeah, that again, the noobish thing right off the bat. This, maybe some of you got a ha-ha out of that. I know I do nowadays, looking back on it. How noob can you get? Thinking that. But, yeah, that's one of those moments I can remember to this date. The very first couple times I logged on and having that experience. And still, of course, here I am still playing. It's a good hobby to have. It's a whole lot cheaper than some of the other hobbies that are out there. I won't name names of games or systems or anything else like that, but I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm getting at there. Now for when I started off right off the bat, of course, that was the experience of my first log on, and I kind of sidetracked of why I started playing. I started playing because my family plays it, my dad plays it, my younger brother plays it, my older brother plays it once in a while, even his wife plays it once in a while, my wife plays it. I had my mother playing it for a little while, but she kind of moved and went to an area where she got a very bad dial-up connection now, where she was used to being able to get a better connection. Now she can't, and satellite's way too much for her. So yeah, so family brought me here. Family's how I got my name. Nickname Ace around everybody that knows me in real life. And when I was picking out the name right off the bat, I was already told when I was basically creating the account that it's going to be back in the old Knights era, the Knights and Dragons and stuff like that, castles. I'm like, alright, so use the old English. So figured might as well name myself. Alright, well, I'm Ace, so I might as well be the Ace, or thy Ace. Well, I tried the Ace right off the bat, and I got it. First name I tried, didn't have to try to figure out any numbers or try to figure out a different name. Very first name I typed in to see if it would work, and sure enough. Maybe nobody thought of it back then, I don't know. I know some players have it now, and they probably have it because they've seen my name. Some of my clan chat members actually use the now because they like it. I also own Thy Ace too, just for namesake. But that's how pretty much I got my name. So being back original, it's original as original can get. Kind of one of the rarer names, because nowadays you cannot really have an original name that doesn't have some letters or number. Well, it has some numbers in it, unless you changed your name by becoming a member and then changing it. But you're always going to know when you log in that your original name was partial leaked, basically. So yeah, the older players we all have the better names right off the bat. That actually are respectable names of a person, or that you would actually call a person. Not no name like Cupcake. Actually, I don't think I've seen that one. Someone will go ahead and make it. There you go. There's a name for you. Cupcake. Or Beefcake. Or whatever. Twinkie. There's a name. I think I actually seen that one. But, yeah. So I started playing. My dad got me started on combat right off the bat, of course. Most of your average players, that when it's their first account, that's normally what the very first thing anybody does when it's their first account on the game, is they work on their combat. We all start off probably killing chickens, and then killing cows, and then killing goblins, and slowly progressing up from there and getting into the better monsters and stuff like that. Ruin armor was just the shit back then. It was 200k, and back let's say 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, 200k back then seemed like 2 mil now. Basically in that equivalent of to kind of give you an idea of the way money progressed as far as how much items cost back when I started playing. And some of you players that are out there, I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. 200k was a big deal. If you had 200k, basically you'd be like a person having 2 mil. And then even then, within the last couple of years, having 2 mil's nothing. I mean, if you're not carrying around 20 mil or 200 mil, you don't really have nothing at all. It's really jumped up high right off the bat with that Grand Exchange update that was put in the game. That really helped the economy of RuneScape jump right off the charts. It's balanced out, but everything just appears to be costing more compared to what it did back then. I mean, take the few zeros off, you still have what it was like to play back in 2004, 2005 time frame. So once I did get out, go on my own, I ended up falling into mining. Mining was my very first skill. That was a skill I enjoyed to do. Why? I don't know. Maybe because that's where the money was at the point in time. I went from basically being a miner to being a independent entrepreneur of gems. I mined to the point where I collected so many gems I didn't make anything out of them, but I was trading cut gems for uncut gems, so people weren't going to get scammed. For someone says, I'll cut your gem for you, and then you would trade it to them and they wouldn't give it back, of course. That was known as a trust trade. It was one of the biggest scams way back then. And I either told them, hey, I'll either cut it for you, or you give me the uncut, I'll give you the cut, or I'll buy it off you. And I still remember typing out thousands of times. Maybe some of you players might have seen me back then. I was always at the Valley East Bank, screaming out, sapphires 100, emeralds 300, diamonds 500 or something like that. Oh no, sapphires 100, emeralds 300, rubies 500, and diamonds 1000 is what I'd buy them for. And then I would just slowly start collecting a whole bunch more. I mean, I got to the point where I had I think it was 1000 diamonds back then. Now we were talking probably 2005, middle of 2006 maybe. I don't know, it would have been 2005 yet that I was doing that. I was buying diamonds, buying gems left and right. And I got 1,000 of them to where I actually offered up 100k for one diamond. because it would have been my number 1000th diamond back then, and that was an awful lot. I mean, I was going to be considered, by the time I swapped everything around to make power amulets out of it or whatever, or have somebody help me make power amulets out of them, I would have been considered one of the richest players in free-to-play at that point in time. Now, remember, we're going back basically 5-6 years. That's basically equivalent to having 1 mil back then is equivalent to having 1 bill now. So, I mean, can you imagine what 1 bill worth of diamonds would be now? Yeah, someone would really look at that and say, holy shit. So yeah, I mined for quite a bit of my free-to-play. Now, of course, later on I got my wife involved in it. I think I was already mining Myth at the time. I get my wife involved in the playing. She still plays off man. She likes to hide in the game. Mrs. Ace, M-I-Z, Ace. Yeah, some of you guys might know her, some of you might not. She's also a player moderator out there. She hides a lot though. She normally just chats to friends. Only has her friends list on or whatnot. But yeah, so that's pretty much more of my history of what I used to do back then to back in the old days. So until next time, have fun and good luck.